I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Yo, it's your boy Flobo. This is the Elimination Chamber After Show 2020. Look, man, the city of Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, is the next stop on the road to WrestleMania. We had 2 Elimination Chamber matches and a whole lot more. We're talking about all of that tonight, but before we do, I gotta introduce our all-star panel. My far left, this man, it breaks it down every week on the Smackdown After Show right here on AfterBuzz TV Wrestling and Sports. A wrestling personality for over 15 years. Give it up for the Josh Tariff.
I'm so thrown off that I'm not doing introductions.
Yeah.
I'm sitting on the other side of the table right now.
What's that, bro? I don't know.
I'm listening and judging every one of your words.
I know, it's really scary.
Are you intimidated yet?
I'm totally intimidated.
That is such a mistake.
I feel like I'm in the middle of something here.
And who is in the middle? Can I say this? The Emmy-nominated Emily May. She is not only famous for being part of the Championship Wrestling from Arizona cast and crew, but maybe something might be close by in the future. Is that true?
Maybe.
You can't talk about it.
Can't talk about it.
Dirt sheets are just wilding, man. Are you
TMZ
judging
exclusive.
me? Are you judging me as well? Are you guys are you
No,
doing
I'm
tandem?
embracing you. We're together on the NXT crew here at AfterBuzz.
That's
I'm
true.
like Team Flobo all the way.
Thank you, Emily
Yeah,
May.
we're the tag team of NXT here. Getting our gold at some point.
At some point. We're getting very better. Also in the booth, give it up for the man himself, Josh Alonso.
What's going on, team? What's going on?
Both Josh and Josh are doing are doing double duty.
Double Josh.
Both the SmackDown After Show and the Elimination Chamber After Show. Just thoughts about that. I know how must be crazy in the producer side on AfterBuzz going between different studios, different hosts, and all that.
Not necessarily. I mean, it's kind of it's kind of a regular thing for me, especially when you're doing like a wrestling show after wrestling show. It's just like I'm in it.
And the thing is, when you do my shows, they're very easy.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, he just chills. He just hits a couple Paul Heyman sound bites and calls it a day.
I feel like we're in a giant Worlds Collide tournament. That's what it feels like right now.
We're
And to break a
invading.
little kayfabe right now, I got both Raw and SmackDown soundboards, so we're gonna have a fun night tonight.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Hashtag Wrestling Live.
I didn't even know Raw had one.
Oh, snap. Watch the show. It's better ratings. All right, so that's you talking to me. All right,
Yeah.
Overall thoughts of pay-per-view tonight. It definitely was a show to me. It was kind of surprising in some parts and kind of disappointing in others. Personally, that's how I feel. I'll get to that more in detail later. But Emily May, I'll start with you. Thoughts about Elimination Chamber? Just going through the matches. How did you feel on the road to WrestleMania?
I mean, you know, the Raw and SmackDown superstars are really like we're like a month out from WrestleMania. This is where they can pivot storylines. They can really showcase their dueling.
They're dueling.
The lenses come out on guard, sir. Yeah.
Gloves are off.
Yes, they fence really well. You know, their rivalries and the frustration. Like they've had a lot of the matches we saw tonight had a build up of months and months of work.
Yeah.
And it was exciting to see tonight, and I feel like leading to WrestleMania, it's just going to get even better.
Josh, Elimination Chamber is called No Escape in Germany. It's a Flobo fact. Just the idea of having this pay-per-view on the road to WrestleMania. Like, some people say that, why do we have an extra stop? We should have all this weeks for build. But this show has been a staple for the past 10 years.
Now, I agree with you that the extra stop seems a little much because now we try to build a couple stories up, and now you really only have 4 weeks to build the rest of the WrestleMania card. That said, I was so pleasantly surprised with how much I enjoyed this entire pay-per-view. and here's the thing, because I was going in thinking, they just threw stuff together.
You're
this
like,
is not going to be
one.
good.
Yeah.
Like, there'll be like a good match, a surprise here. But I enjoyed everything. And throw in the fact that there was no Roman, there was no Bray, there was no Bailey, there was no Sasha, there was no Charlotte, there was no Becky. She was watching them on her back. Owens just did a walk-in. A bunch of the top guys and girls were not on this show. And it gave these other people opportunity to be on a pay-per-view, some we really haven't seen, like Drew Gulak, like Aleister Black, like the Lucha House Party. And they took this opportunity and all did fantastic.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Drew Gulak opens the show with Daniel Bryan. And
this was.
So to me,
I'm
it was
just applauding right off
it was
the
an
bat.
early contender for match of the night. Drew Gulak is somebody we've always said in these shows and say, hey, look, where's this opportunity? Not only is he on a pay-per-view, it's not even the kickoff. He's opening up against a former world champion, Daniel Bryan. One, admittedly, it's not really going through the best when it comes to win-loss records. Emily May, walk me through this match. The idea of Daniel Bryan, Drew Gulak opening the show.
I think it was a perfect pairing. You know, Drew Gulak has had such an interesting match history and has kind of looked up to Daniel Bryan and kind of being that type of wrestler. And it was a really kind of perfect styling where they could really showcase their best moves. And it was really powerful, and I really thoroughly enjoyed it because they really like elevated each other, and I loved how they opened it.
Sure.
And it was like I was pleasantly surprised and happy that Drew Gulak got this moment.
Sure. So, Josh, you were talking about, people who swear to be insiders, smart marks. Always talking about, in-ring psychology and storytelling. But I really thought that Daniel Bryan told a good story about, what am I doing wrong? I'm not really connecting my moves, not as crisp. I want to see your thoughts about this, because you are in professional wrestling. You work with Wrestling Pro Wrestling here in Southern California. Talk about the match from your perspective.
Well, I was kind of surprised that they were opening with this, because normally the opener is... very fast-paced, very shocking. And here's, we're getting the technical grappling match to start the show. And so I was kind of surprised by that, but I was actually looking forward to this match more than any other match on the card. And to me, it lived up to the hype. I mean, I could probably go as far to say, as far as I'm not counting NXT, because we know NXT takeovers are just insane.
Agreed.
But as far as WWE pay-per-views go, so far, this might have been the pay-per-view match of the year so far, in my opinion. So far.
It's only March,
It's only March. It's only March. It's only March. It's only March, which means there's only been 17 of these.
Yeah, and the Crown Jewel's November, bro.
Right.
Come on.
So many.
Kind of premature.
But the psychology, the story, the selling of the neck, scaring the hell out of me, thinking Daniel Bryan, I'm like, oh no, I don't want Gulak to be the one that actually hurt him, because Gulak is, so crisp with everything. And there was a point where, when Daniel Bryan rolled out of the ring, I see on the corner of the screen someone run around the ring. I thought it was a trainer. It turned out it was just a camera guy,
right.
or a grip or whatever. But first thought, I'm like, oh my God, he rolled out of the ring because they're having a trainer check on him right now.
There was that moment where I kind of held my breath, because Daniel Bryan has a previous neck injury,
Yes.
was out for a really long time, and so you as a fan and just as someone that's trying to analyze what's happening on the screen, I held my breath of this could go really wrong, and I'm glad that everything was okay.
And the key thing on top of it also is, I don't know if either of you have seen it yet, on their YouTube page and on social media, they did interviews both with Daniel Bryan and Gulak after the match. And Daniel Bryan talks about how this brought passion back out of him, and now he was saying, maybe Gulak can teach me some things. Which leads, maybe they're going to wrestle again. Maybe they're going to team up.
Sure.
Who knows?
That would be a good team.
But Daniel Bryan and Gulak is not finished. Okay. And I'm thrilled for Gulak for that. The fact that he got to have this major match in his hometown and just tear the house down to start the show with Daniel Bryan. It was absolutely fantastic.
Final question for both of you. Can casual wrestling fans, the ones that bring their families out to shows, can they buy into Drew Gulak? Or is he a bit too much of the dark chocolate, the fine wine of his division?
This character right now, no, they cannot. If it adjusts, because him talking about the PowerPoint presentation, want to overanalyze things, casual fans are not going to be into that because it's not flashy, it's not funny to them.
Right.
To us, it is.
Yeah, I think from if we're looking at just this match, it's a very technical match. It wasn't super splashy like some of the other ones we saw tonight. So I feel like if you are a casual fan just watching it seeing them for the first time, it might not connect as much from someone, for people that watch it regularly.
Sure, talking about connections, about that match tonight, the United States Championships on the line, Andrade versus Humberto Carrillo. I like Humberto a lot. Hey, thanks, man. But the fans just seem pretty flat, and at least what I can tell from the match today. They put on a very good clinic. The finish is very similar to a match they had a couple weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, he lost the same exact way to Angel Garza.
Angel Garza.
Right, yeah,
So
that's
that's
Same exact way.
That's the only thing I poo-pooed on. But Humberto has a lot of upside, but Andrade is so good at what he does. Thoughts about the match? I'm starting with you, Josh. Just, as his head on the line.
I mean, it was a very fun match, and I really enjoyed having this go after the grappling specialty, where now we have the fat. Like, you would think this might have opened the show, but then you had the technical masterpiece, and then we go to the fun lucha. So
Right.
just two complete opposite styles. I thought that was great. Humberto is not doing it for me. I'm excited to be on this panel because there are some guys that I never get to talk about that were on this show
I
tonight.
feel the same way in Raw.
Humberto
Yeah.
Carrillo is one of them.
Yeah.
And
This boy's the good looks, right? I know. They're so intimidating.
what, Humberto?
Yeah, man, he's just so
Okay,
beautiful.
here's my thing with it.
Okay.
And this might come off awkward, so I need to explain myself. I think Humberto Carrillo needs to wear a mask.
Well, that is pretty awkward. Why?
And the
Why?
reason I said is because he is very talented, but he cannot talk to save his life. And it's kind of tough to understand what he says when he does talk. I mean, Angel Garza has an accent, but you can still kind of understand him. Andrade obviously has Zelina. Rey Mysterio, at first, when he first started, you really didn't understand too much of it, and obviously that got better over time.
Is pretty thick. Yeah.
So I think when you're looking at him, yeah, he's obviously a very good-looking kid. He's a very talented kid, but you feel separated when you're just staring at the guy and you're just like, I'm sorry, I'm just not connecting with you from a promo perspective.
hot take, man.
So I think something like that could actually, in the long run, help him.
I don't know. I don't really. I mean, I'm kind of not swayed either way. I mean,
I'm team
I
neutral.
mean,
That's
I'm team neutral. I mean, I don't mind looking at him. Like it.
I understand they don't want to put a mask because he's a good-looking guy.
Good looking. With. I don't know, like this match, like you said, Flobo, we've seen this rivalry happen over and over again. It's somewhat repetitive. We know what they can do together, and they had a few. They lifted the mats again, the safety mats again tonight. They've done that before. You have Vega kind of getting in the way again, kind of causing some trouble. So you're like Andrade's kind of bending the rules to get a win, and I feel like we've seen that over and over again, and I would have loved to have seen something a little bit different tonight.
Like Humberto not fall for it again?
Yeah. Well, final question about this. This is from a wrestling purist standpoint, right? If those of you who read the dirt sheets know that Andrade just coming back recently from a wellness violation, got to keep the United States title. Is that a bad precedent for other talent who may have trouble there, or it's kind of like, well, it's a big deal?
It's like the first time that's really ever happened in a long time.
Yeah.
I was honestly kind of surprised
usually
they
they
didn't
drop
have
the title.
I'm asking a question from the chat. Thanks, chat.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, chat.
What up, chat?
I mean,
What up, chat?
I think you have to weigh, like, as an organization, WWE has to weigh, like, okay, like, how big is the wellness violation, and can he, like, how long is he going to be gone for? Is it going to mess up storyline? Like, there's.
Well, I only ask because Brock is a part-time champion.
Yeah.
And then so the United States title is also off the shelf. But
Yeah.
I'm getting too in the weeds.
I mean, it could have been something where, and that's almost like how Angel Garza came up, because they could have been like, oh, well, Andrade's not here and he has to defend his title. Angel comes in to defend on his behalf.
That'd be kind of cool. Yeah.
So then, the title's still, I mean, it's a loophole in a way. I mean, is it the best solution? No.
Right.
But it's a solution.
A solution's always good.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that first Elimination Chamber match of the night. It was for the Tag Team Championships.
Yes.
Holla, holla, holla. Yeah.
I mean, I hear this every week, so it's fine.
Usos, A New Day, Heavy Machinery, Lucha House Party, Miz and Morrison, Ziggler and Rude. Forget about the winners right now. Lucha House Party came to play. Emily May, what's up?
Okay, I was having a lucha party watching this match.
Where? Why was I invited? How many people were at this party? Where are the invitations?
We have a clip. We have a clip.
Roll the tape.
Party of one. I was like, the match already started with energy, and then when like Lucha House Party jumped in, it was like flying, literally flying in, and I enjoyed it so much, and I'm so glad they were in there.
Can we talk about also Grand Metalik's amazing outfit?
Okay,
Yes.
oh, yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah.
There was a Christian's
Yes.
closet.
Well, thank you.
Good.
Josh in the booth. I have to call Josh in the booth because then it sounds like I'm talking to the third person.
Yeah.
Don't talk to yourself.
No,
Josh says.
Josh will talk to himself whenever Josh feels like it. But Josh in the booth, if there's a shot of Metalik on his entrance,
Yes.
with the cape and like his whole garb. First off, he looked like a lucha libre shredder.
Yeah. You look, he merged
Like,
with Kalisto.
yeah, I don't know if we have a photo of it, but first off, he looked like he's lost weight. And it's weird because he was
looking
just
good.
on SmackDown,
Yeah.
but he looked like he was like 20 pounds lighter than he
WrestleMania
was.
season, brother.
Yeah, I mean,
cape.
it's kind of tough to see from that one particular photo, but in the back, he's got the crazy mask, he's got his hair going long, completely different outfit than he's ever worn. So he came pay-per-view ready.
Yes,
and I
they
love
all
it.
came pay-per-view ready.
Yes.
It's kind of interesting because on paper you're kind of rolling your eyes at Lucha House Party, but you're like, but after tonight, that Shooting Star
I was
Express
blown
specifically,
away.
talk to me through that. Like, how can a team arrive in this kind of season? Because like Josh said, there's a lot of top tier talent that were not at this pay-per-view, but it seems that there was space for new stars to be made tonight.
Well, and I love the fact that there is room to bring in stars that can have a moment like this because we're a month out from WrestleMania. It is all about the moments and connecting to fans. And this gets me excited to see them again and to see what they do in the next
And the
few
fact
weeks.
along with it is, Kalisto, the one that's most known, is hurt.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
fact, like, these guys have just kind of been hanging around.
Yeah, waiting for their moment. And
Yeah.
they got
They
their
seized it.
moment.
They seized
and they
it.
seized it. And like that makes me like a happy wrestling fan.
How do you guys feel about Miz and Morrison retaining tonight?
I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
I'm okay with
okay.
it.
I
All right.
love John Morrison in the mid. Like I was kind of questioning like that pairing, but after seeing them tonight, you know, I dig it.
A lot of rhinestones between the two of them, but yeah, they're a good team.
It's okay,
together.
they shine bright.
And it's always crazy when you've had so many of these matches and then there's something that's never been seen before that happens. And we got that with Otis falling out of the chamber.
Absolutely.
Oh my
I mean,
god. Yeah.
So Corey Graves nailed it. They are the sentimental the tag team tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, Tucker going lucha for some reason.
Tucker!
I mean, what?
I don't know what Tucker's done this last month, but all of a sudden he is just he's been watching a lot of Keith Lee tapes
Yeah.
and just
Totally.
going
I
nuts.
think
And,
he was trying to upstage Lindsay Dorado off the
Yeah.
Shooting Star
Yeah.
Press off
He's
the
like,
set.
I'm getting over too, brother.
Otis totally charmed me by going through the pod.
Right.
I was like, oh my god. I was
Mandy
screaming.
Rose, if you're watching this, give him
Yes.
a chance.
You
damn
need
it.
to give him a chance.
Right.
Call him up.
Yeah, big guys can know how to love you right. I thought the match was cool. Last button on this one. Kofi Mania was a year ago, but today the New Day are kind of finding themselves again. Thoughts about that? Thoughts about how things can change over a year's time from one WrestleMania to the other WrestleMania?
I mean, I've always loved Kofi. Like I was full on Kofi Mania, and you know, seeing him with Big E again and New Day together, I miss that dynamic.
Sure.
I miss the just the whole feeling of that I have when I see them together, throwing pancakes, you know. But I wish like it. I don't know. I just feel like I'm still missing something.
And the thing that you're missing is Xavier Woods.
Yes.
This just goes to show how pivotal Xavier is with the New Day. He's the best talker. He does the best, you know, like
Trombone
insider. Of
Yeah.
course you're missing the trombone as well, but having that extra factor, because all of a sudden Kofi went from being their top guy, main
guy.
eventer, to
back.
now I got to settle in the tag matches because
Again.
Xavier's not there. And so when Xavier does come back,
Yeah.
I mean, I can honestly see this not being just, oh, they're back and now going over to tag titles again or whatever. They're all just going to help each other out in singles matches
Yeah,
because
they deserve it.
Xavier can do it, Big E can do it. Obviously,
Yeah.
we
I
know
mean, they
Kofi
all
can do it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I maybe that's it that I'm missing. You know, Xavier Woods, and I'm feeling that loss of just like an incomplete place. You know, hole in my heart is gone in this.
Yeah.
You know, in
Xavier,
this trifecta.
fill that
of-
hole in Emily's heart.
Wait, let's do
But-
it before or after the Mandy Otis thing, because this is kind of weird.
Between Otis and Xavier,
You know.
I don't know what's happening.
Social media said that this was the match of the night. Do you agree or disagree?
Disagree.
Disagree.
Gulak and Bryan was.
I agree with that.
I would say it's up there. I'm not sure if I have a top. I don't know. I enjoyed so many tonight. I don't know if I have a top match.
All right, cool. I want to know in the chat. Let me know what you think is the match tonight. I'll read your responses a little bit later. I want to say this about the tag team elimination chamber match. I was like you were saying earlier. I thought it was kind of early for this. I would have had it later. I'm not sure if it would have main evented. I know out backstage or green room or whatever the hell we hang out with. You were saying possibly it could be
The front entrance of the building?
Yeah, the front entrance, the patio, the Black Hollywood Live Pavilion. You were saying possibly having
They somehow let me in.
having the chamber matches swapped. They have to have a different effect with those. But I thought it was pretty good for what it was.
Do you think the women's elimination match should have been earlier? Like it should have been
Based on, obviously we're going to talk about that match later,
Sure.
but based on how the match was, I felt like the women's match should have been here and the tag match should have main
I
event.
could see that.
On paper, I thought it was the right call having it be the main event, and we'll get to that a little bit later. But again, how it broke down, I was like, all right.
Yeah.
So moving on, though, we got a no DQ match here. AJ Styles against Aleister Black, which would headline any pay-per-view anywhere, but not tonight. Thoughts about the match here, because Aleister Black was pinned by AJ Styles just this past Monday. I think his first pin on the main quote-unquote main roster. Big news, but kind of gets swept under the rug with the whole Undertaker thing looming in the back. Josh?
Well, it was also swept under the rug because Aleister still beat Anderson and was in a match with Gallows before the match with AJ to begin with.
The makeshift gauntlet, yes.
Right. Yeah. The makeshift gauntlet, because it's just all about gauntlets these days on TV.
Well, I'd rather that than beat the
keep 'em
clock.
going.
I hate
Gauntlet
beat the
matches.
clocks.
Oh no,
I can't stand
I
those.
agree with that. But so, if your first loss on Raw is against AJ Styles, that's not the end of the world because it's AJ Styles.
It's AJ Styles.
Yeah. But again, like I was saying, this was a night where people had opportunity to really make their names for themselves. I think this match makes Aleister Black take a huge jump in the rankings when it comes to possible top contenders on Raw. I really feel after all Mania season winds down, Aleister should be a guy that I would love to see with McIntyre.
Okay.
I would love to see Aleister and McIntyre.
Tag team or about a stable?
No, against each other.
Oh, against each
Oh,
other. Gotcha,
together.
gotcha.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like McIntyre versus Aleister, even
Why
though they're
so-
face.
Well, why so? I'm just curious. So what's the appeal of having them together?
I think it's a fun
I
appeal.
agree with you, but-
I think it's a fun appeal because they're both so big, but they move like they're half their size.
Yeah, like really quickly.
And just completely different auras around them. McIntyre certainly has his aura, and Aleister is. Aleister's my favorite wrestler on Monday Night Raw.
Okay.
And
Solid choice.
And again, I don't ever get to talk about him, so I'm excited.
Yes,
I have this
Rams.
opportunity right
It's
now.
your night, go.
I was talking about Bayley every week if she was on Raw. I got you.
Yeah, and we talk about Bayley every week on SmackDown. Trust me.
Whether you like to or not.
Whether she was on the show or not, we talk about her anyway.
Yeah.
I think Aleister has all the tools to not just be the top guy on Raw, but to be the top guy for a very long time.
May thoughts about that? The prospect of Aleister Black being a major player on Monday Night Raw?
I mean, I think it's about time. I think, we've talked about this a lot where we always kind of question where Aleister's place is in kind of the WWE universe and in the roster lineup. And tonight he shined really brightly and really kind of showcased what he can do. And I feel like it's his time to be, above some of the other guys.
Who could he pick a fight with next?
Fight with?
So weird, like in a sport or entertainment where you can go to the ring and have an open challenge. These guys in the back being like, please, somebody fight me.
It's so hard. It's like you want,
Let's talk about the elephant in the room. The Undertaker makes an appearance here in this matchup. Besides the thing in Saudi Arabia, which is kind of weird because Undertaker showed up just to take a trophy that he didn't even touch. The idea of AJ Styles versus Undertaker, Prince money, right or not in 2020? Josh?
No.
Oh!
You don't like it? You don't want it to go down?
Oh!
I'm sorry, but I don't. I mean, I'm done with Undertaker matches at WrestleMania. I'm done with them.
In WrestleMania or just
In WrestleMania?
In WrestleMania.
Okay.
In WrestleMania.
Well, you do have a point that it seems.
gonna super kick you.
I'm going to be kind of in the middle here.
No, you could be completely against me. That's fine too.
I'm against you.
Ring the bell.
I hear your point that, we are leading up to WrestleMania, and we always like there's those wrestlers that we always expect to see. We're gonna see the Undertaker. We're gonna see Brock Lesnar. So it's like, okay, John Cena.
Oh, I didn't see you there for a second.
Wait, I lost you there. I lost you there.
It's me. I'm back.
So we have those expectations set already, and so I wasn't really surprised that this happened tonight.
Is it weird that I personally feel Undertaker being at WrestleMania is cheapened because there's all the overseas shows? Is that the reason why I'm not really on the
No, that's a very fair point.
No, I mean, that's a fair point because if the overseas shows aren't really helping build the product here and the storylines here, and it's just kind of like a throwaway show.
And the fact that he's making all those appearances there, and the fact he's lost 2 WrestleMania matches now.
Yeah.
That's
The aura
Yeah.
of him at WrestleMania, to me, left once he lost to Brock Lesnar many years ago. Because I was at the following one where he beat Bray Wyatt, and I was just like, meh.
Yeah.
This doesn't feel the same because he's lost the match.
Are you a kind of purist that a streak should be not broken ever, and he should be a guy?
I was like that, or if he did lose, that should have been it.
Yeah.
And this is coming from someone like I love the Undertaker, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a wrestling purist, like Cesaro's new shirt. It's amazing. Look it up.
Please buy Cesaro's shirt and buy me one too, man. That's the one I want to get.
He's doing that. I just did this whole Christian's Closet segment for the shirt on SmackDown.
Yeah.
We should have matching shirts.
We should do that.
Yeah.
But you won't go for it. But we should do that.
Why wouldn't I go
We'll
for
do
that?
it. You should
Why would I not go for that?
I mean, you're not your natural heel, man. I think so.
I beg your pardon.
Okay. The real white tea in the chat. I'm very scared now. Please don't hurt me, sir. Says the Undertaker's getting older. Perhaps it's someone else's turn. Which is a very harsh take, but I'm inclined to agree.
Yeah. Also tell that to Goldberg and John Cena.
That is Universal Champion Goldberg to you. I forgot about this drop.
Oh, this drop is on loop during SmackDown.
I feel
It's on
like
loop.
this drop at King's Court goes on forever.
King's Court?
Jim Alexander. You don't watch Raw or NXT?
NXT?
Jim
No,
Alexander has
look
a
at that
segment
face.
called King's
Look at that
Court
face.
where he talks about. That's the one. Don't play the whole thing. We got a
Do
whole
not
thing
play
to
the
do.
whole thing. I'm gonna like.
I
pierce
watch
my
your show
ears.
every week, Christian. I mean, Josh.
Jim Alexander.
He's not even here. Let's just
We're unraveling,
We're
guys.
unraveling.
This is a real thing?
It's
Yes,
a real
it
thing.
is.
Twice a week, exclusively on AfterBuzz TV.
Oh my God.
When I host, I decide not to do King's Court.
That is so wrong. All right, so moving on. The Raw Tag Team titles are on the line in a tag team match. Player, holla, holla, holla. Newly crowned Street Profits taking on the Monday Night Messiahs group of Seth Rollins and just Murphy. Thoughts about the match, Josh? Who's dumbfounded about the King's Court, apparently?
Well, there's really not, honestly, there's really not much to talk about with this match. It was fine. There was nothing bad about the match.
Yeah.
It was just there. It was a match.
Does it bother you so soon since they actually won the titles the same way? Does the rematch
That it was like
bother
a
you?
rematch.
That they had a rematch within a week?
That, and plus in the background, it was like,
was
no
like the
instant
same.
rematches now, new era of WWE. This is a...
Yeah,
instant
well,
rematch.
being that there's no rematch clause and they immediately got a rematch, that was kind of weird. But, I mean, I'm not against the fact that, it was sudden loss. Hey, we need an extra match in this pay-per-view. Let's just throw it. I mean,
Yeah.
whatever.
I mean, I think it was a good moment for like the Street Profits to like, look, we have the belts. We're like new champions.
we're legit.
Like
Yeah.
we're legit. We're like gonna bring it home, and like it felt like even though they had the rematch, it was really great because the energy, the fans loved it. The energy was really high,
True.
and I loved it.
Are you a fan of the Street Profits?
Yeah.
So let me ask you a
Yeah.
question, because I like the Street Profits because they remind me of guys that went to my college but were never in class. But like, as somebody who hasn't had that experience, like, what about them like that appeals to you as a fan?
As a fan,
Yeah.
I like their dynamic energy together. I like how
Okay.
they feed off of each other, and I like what they bring to the ring. Like I think they have a unique look. They
D'Angelo Dawkins stirring the pot. I'm doing it for the people on the iTunes.
God.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad. I think they have a unique. They bring like a unique perspective, and I feel like as a fan, it's different than what we've seen before.
Montez Ford is a star.
Yes.
He totally is.
Montez Ford is
tonight,
an absolute
he totally
superstar.
Was kind of shining so brightly and really just showed that that I could totally see him not in a tag team.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
I feel I'm excited to see not like saying, oh, they should break up right now, but I feel like down the line he would be really great as, singles wrestling.
Yeah, he does carry most of the mic work.
Something tells me that Montez Ford would be a great heel.
Oh,
Like his
absolutely.
charisma and everything.
Oh,
he
sure.
would be
Charisma.
like a great Hollywood heel type of role character.
Even when he's funny, he's so stern. He has that we call it RBF kind of thing.
Yeah.
That totally works for him. All right, well, anyway, about the match itself, I mean, to me, I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, it was pretty solid. Nothing really to write home about. But Kevin Owens makes his appearance with popcorn. Shout out to that. Further than the Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens feud.
That would have been like a $20 bag of popcorn. That was a big bag.
I mean,
of
that was
popcorn.
like
was pretty
that was like
huge.
the big like bucket, not
Yeah.
bucket, but
It was like a cereal
like a
box.
cereal box.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's got
but
a
at
way-
a
Get from the
sports arena,
movies.
that's got to be like $20.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
can
I
afford
think
it,
he
man.
can afford it. Yeah.
He just flashed his employee badge.
But I liked how you just came out of the audience and was like, I'm gonna just chill here near the.
I'm just going to chill on the
desk
commentator table.
and
No
just eat
one's-
my popcorn.
So we're 30 days away from WrestleMania, and allow me to be a little bit poo-pooey here. I'm kind of cooling off in this Kevin Owens Seth Rollins feud. What would it take to get this guy back on board? Like, I feel like what would be the personal engagement these two would have after so much time to get everyone on board?
Well, we need a real history and story with it, because there was AOP attacked, and then we discovered it was Seth Rollins. That was the whole reason this feud started,
Right.
and nothing has evolved since then with that. You've tried to throw Joe in, he keeps getting hurt, and then he gets suspended.
Well,
Right.
how can they? How do you think they can evolve it though?
Bring back history with different things. Seth Rollins can talk about, hey, I was the first with this, I was the first with that. Yeah, you remember how it took you forever to get signed to NXT? I was their first champion. Just try to different things like that, just to poke, to poke the bear.
Poke for a little bit.
Just so we see a reason that they should hate each other,
Right.
Because there's really AOP attacked him 3 months ago. That's the only reason that we have, really.
Yeah.
But
agree with
yeah, I mean, and also like, okay, someone, AOP attacked, but like, how like I agree with you that the stakes have to be higher. Like, okay, everyone gets attacked all the time. So what makes it different?
You're so cold and everything.
I know,
Well,
so
whatever. What's the
cold.
big deal?
Everyone gets attacked.
Like what?
Deal with it, bro.
Like what is that like that like fire inside that's gonna build to this big moment?
I do agree. I feel like a lot of that storytelling is being lost in the storyline. But I hope there's some gaps.
Rollins saying, Owens, you're finally getting a marquee WrestleMania match because you haven't had one. Oh, I've main evented. I've won the title.
I'll buy that.
Stuff like that.
You should write for them. Let's talk about...
That's said repeatedly on SmackDown.
Yeah, that's why I did it. Because I watch your show every
Maybe
week.
one day.
Okay.
Wow.
Hate to say we told
Yep.
you so,
Yep.
but ladies and gentlemen, we told you so!
Guys,
Cheers.
I resign from this after show. No, I'm kidding. The Intercontinental title's on the line in a 3-on-1 handicap match, and it actually changed hands? I guess. Coming to get it on? Let's talk about this. Braun Strowman is now officially a transitional champion. Sami Zayn getting the pin. Brand new Intercontinental Champion, and Sami Zayn.
Finally wins the title. This is his first title on
First
WWE.
title.
Mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Mind-blowing.
Yeah.
I did not thought it was going to happen tonight.
So this is like one of the surprises that like shook up the night.
Mm-hmm.
And Braun Strowman, like, he was shot. He was like, oh, I just can't. This kick is too much. I can't. I just can't get up.
Can't stand it.
I can't.
Well, I'm waiting now for SmackDown, where Nakamura and Cesaro are waiting for Sami to just give the title to one of them,
Right.
and Sami's gonna be, no, I won this by myself,
That's,
and
yeah.
it's gonna eventually
Yeah,
gonna
there's
lead.
gonna be like an
and,
ego thing.
Yeah, and
then-
Braun's obviously still gonna be around because he wants revenge too, and it's probably gonna result in some type of 4-way.
I hope so, because it
Ooh.
seems kind of... I would feel bad if Braun was just there to be a mechanic to get the
to
belt.
get to
Mm-hmm.
And then
the
move on to
belt.
something
Yeah.
else. But I like your idea
I like
a lot
that
better.
the 4-way option. That sounds cool.
And if that ever happened, who'd you got in that situation? Who
I
you pick?
would want Cesaro.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
I didn't know, I was waiting for this to
I
tell me.
know.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Okay, cool. Shout out to Cesaro, man, the wrestling purist. Yeah, I was just shocked that the title changed hands tonight. And I thought going in it would have been a total comedy match, but it wasn't. So I guess that's perfect positioning before our main event for the evening. The second Elimination Chamber match. Winner getting a title shot with Becky Lynch at WrestleMania 36 on a bone. Asuka, Liv Morgan, Ruby Riott, Shayna Baszler, Natalya, and Sarah Logan, the former Riot Squad, plus others. Shayna Baszler did what we all predicted, I thought, win out on top, but she did it in such a unique fashion. Since it's a women's match, I'm going to ask you first, Emily May, thoughts about the match, thoughts about the rise of Shayna Baszler.
Oh, he's asking you because you're a woman.
You're a woman.
Because you're
I
on the
get
Women's
it.
Wrestling Weekly
I
show
am a
on
Women's
AfterBuzz
Wrestling
TV
Weekly.
Weekly.
We talk about women's wrestling all week. That was a lot of yelling.
Yeah. I'm a face,
but,
dang it.
I thoroughly enjoyed this match. I was not surprised about, Shayna Baszler taking it, but I was really happy. Like, Natalya had a great showcase of her talent. She got totally...
She seemed more aggressive tonight.
She was a lot more aggressive, but she also was just really getting reamed but
Oh my god.
just rough. It was rough for her.
Yeah.
Asuka was one of the last ones in into the match after Shayna Baszler tried to take everyone out, and so the momentum, I think, was built really well, and I think I liked how, again, we talked about how there was not, we have Asuka, but there was some other ones that we don't really get to see all the time, like Logan and
I was actually one of the problems I had with the match was its momentum. But Josh,
Really?
thoughts about the match before I get
So I was at first I was annoyed at one part, but then like looking back, I'm actually kind of excited for it. So with all the entrances, they were totally teasing Ruby with Liv, Ruby
Liv.
with Sarah,
Yeah.
Sarah with Liv, and we really didn't get any of that during the actual match,
Right.
which makes me think that we will have a triple threat match at Mania, or maybe
Mania.
it'll probably end up being kickoff,
Yeah.
but a triple threat match with the three of them,
Right.
so we can actually build the history as to why they broken up. You could okay, we get it, but we're running out of time.
No, we gotta do it. We gotta do it.
We know I'm right, but
But how do you start that then? Because they all got choked out tonight.
Right.
Or what have
right.
you.
But now they're going to move on, and Ruby's going to be like, hey, you know how I was gone for 8 months? How many pay-per-views were you on while I was gone? The answer would be 0. How many victories did you have on Raw while I was gone? 0, maybe 1. And so it's just like Ruby's like, you guys need me to be successful. And they'll do their own things
So
and
we're rooting for
eventually
Liv
do it.
Morgan here? Is that the deal?
Huh?
We'll be rooting for Liv Morgan?
We'd be rooting for
Or-
Liv out of the 3.
Got it.
But that said, with Shayna, we all knew Shayna was going to win this.
We knew
but
Shayna
the
was-
fact that she won in so quickly, the fact that we had like 3+ minutes of her standing in the ring by
in the
herself
ring, walking around.
multiple times.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, so I do have to agree with you there that I felt like the momentum was really hot in the beginning and near the end, but in the middle, when she's just like, eliminating people, it just didn't. The momentum was lost, and I felt like her strength and like her brutality wasn't showcased as well as it could have been, because then we're just waiting for the buzzer.
Sure.
And it just felt like, okay, we could get to the next thing, and it felt like something I've seen before.
Yeah, to me, having her come out when she did was kind of interesting because of the gaps in time there.
Yeah.
It wasn't a deal breaker because, again, we kind of knew going forward that it would have to be an act of God for Shayna not to win this match. And props to Asuka for being a antagonist / heel and giving us a reason to root for her towards the end.
Exactly,
Her
yeah.
like mocking her or whatnot. But I don't know. You talk about predictability in wrestling. We need some of that too. And this is wrestling in general.
Totally.
I know fans get all up in arms. It's too predictable. It's great. But I did not like having to sit and wait. Like, much like how, not in the Rumbles, there's a different thing, but you have to sit and wait for each intervals, though. So we have this time with 3 minutes each time, her posing, and it's like, what do I do? It wasn't like she was going out and posing towards the crowd or anything else.
You could have. So the first one was okay. And then when she's several minutes, when it's just Asuka, well, you know what? Asuka's supposed to be dangerous, right?
Yeah.
She kicks the damn pot open.
Right. Why are we waiting the time?
Why are we waiting?
I have no idea.
I mean, yeah, like if if she wanted to like go and if Baszler wanted to win right away, like just get into the pod, break in, like make it like take ownership of the moment and just go for it. And I felt like those gaps just didn't work for me.
Well, it's official. Shayna Baszler against Becky Lynch at WrestleMania 36. So I'm going to shout out to the chat. Also, I would give a shout out to Derek Fisher. He asked me a question. I'm gonna ask
Wow,
him.
former Laker.
Yeah, former Lakers.
Yeah.
Came in the chat. NBA
Chilling.
Players Association says, "What are your thoughts on WWE possibly canceling WrestleMania because of the coronavirus?"
That ain't happening.
They wouldn't cancel it, but they would probably film it empty.
That won't happen.
Wow, that's
That, I mean, there might be
I'm
people
just
that don't
saying.
show up. Look, if Vince McMahon held a live show 2 days after 9/11, do you really think he's going to stop from the coronavirus?
that's true. I think,
true.
but if the government gets involved and forces
Yeah, I mean,
his
if they
hand-
force like any public event
Sure.
above a certain amount of people, it could happen.
Well, yeah, if it's some of the
And
government
Stephanie
does. but-
McMahon, I think, there were quotes, her publicly saying that like the fans are the number one priority. So
I mean, I would say
Listen,
that too.
if there's no fans in attendance, then we would have the best gimmick match in return, the empty arena match. Am I right or am I right?
I don't want a
Yes.
5-hour-long empty arena match. So that was halftime heat.
that would be amazing.
Now the question is, which match gets that?
All of them. The next pay-per-view on the calendar is WrestleMania 36 live from Tampa Bay. 5 matches already announced: Lesnar and McIntyre, Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair, Goldberg, Roman Reigns, John Cena and the Fiend Bray Wyatt, and Becky Lynch and Shayna Baszler. I know we're short on time, but what match you guys looking forward to the most?
Of those 5,
Of those 5, player.
probably Charlotte and Rhea.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too.
Just
Yeah, Rhea and
see
Charlotte.
Okay, Rhea, let's see what you got.
Yeah, I want
is
to see
this.
her bring it. I want to see her take Charlotte down.
I'm also curious what happens to the NXT title if Charlotte Flair wins.
And I love Charlotte, so
Yeah.
Are you a Charlotte fan?
I'm a
Oh,
Charlotte
sure.
and Rhea Ripley fan.
Okay, the more you know. I'm actually looking forward to her. Did you do the okay? I'm actually looking forward to the Roman Reigns Goldberg match thanks. Yeah, Roman Reigns and Goldberg, I'm actually looking forward to the most for 2 reasons. One, there's a lot of chatter about if Goldberg still has it, and the last 2 performances weren't that great. And with Roman Reigns being pushed down to the mid-card against Baron Corbin in the last year, having him in the main title picture, will the fans accept him now? And enough stuff seeing
Over under 4.5 minutes long. It's under.
4.5 minutes. You think it's under?
It's under.
I'll take the over. What's the spread? I'll tell you, wait a minute. If it's 455. But yeah, it's about time we all get out of here. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Elimination Chamber After Show. Josh, Tariff, where can the world find you online?
Well, first off, Flobo, I thought you did a very, very, very
Adequate?
Fantastic. I get to
amazing
see
job
him every
leading.
week.
No, he did amazing.
Hey!
He did amazing.
Hey!
He gets a solid B-. You can
All right,
follow
cool.
me on
Thanks, Dad. All right. Let's go.
Twitter and Instagram at Josh_Tariff. You can also find me on Cameo if you want me to settle your wrestling debates. Cameo.com/Josh
You're
Tariff.
selling yourself on Cameo?
And ProWrestlingTees.com/Christian Rosenberg. I still got shirts up there,
does Christian
including Jeff
Rosenberg?
Peanut Butter t-shirt for
I
sale.
love Jeff Peanut Butter.
Jeff Peanut Butter is kind of awesome.
Yeah. So,
His
Flobo,
dope
I'm
hair.
going to give you an A+.
Thank you.
Because you're my,
I appreciate
tag
that.
team partner here.
Yeah. Because I'm obligated to give you an A+.
I'm obligated. So you can find me on all social media platforms at Emily May Heller. Look at all my wrestling content. I cover a bunch of stuff here at AfterBuzz TV. And I'm so happy to be here with you guys and cover Elimination Chamber.
Hey, and you guys can follow me at Twitter at FloboBoys, on Instagram at Flobito, and of course Flobito.com. Tomorrow night, the Monday Night Raw after show, it's Heel Night. For more on that, please tune in. But until
What?
next time, buzz you later.
Bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.